It's a horrible day. It's horrible outside. Steph is in a horrible mood.
I don't think I'm stopping.
I have a horrible headache. There's just so much horror in this house, isn't there?
Is there?
I have a whole pile of horror over here.
Oh!
Well, let's start with the first two things. You're not going to see an official unboxing of what we got in the mail or from UPS in the middle of the night while we were watching the game. Game of Thrones, yeah.
Season 4.
That game. I have plenty of horror on that too. So, we're going to do a few videos here. I'm not going to say quick video because it probably won't be. Got a lot of horror. I'll start out with these. We'll do these two, and then we'll do this, and then we'll do that. And you'll see what they are. Or you could just, I don't know, read the title of what the video says that we're doing. So, first of all, I'll tell you about, I got this first from Reader's World. I'd already promised I'd buy it from Reader's World because they said he found it for us. We didn't know we could get it for a lot cheaper from Miniatures Market, but that's okay. Supported a local store, and I'm alright with that. It's the Freddy vs. Jason HorrorClix. They're all in there. I don't know. Are we gonna open them?
You want to open them?
I want to open them, but it's like, this is like a collector's thing. But you know what? I do plan on playing with them, so I kind of want to open them. These came out when Nightmares came out. I have nightmares. I have so many nightmares. You'll see. You'll see. So let me see about opening this.
Jason.
So who do you like better, Freddy or Jason?
I don't know.
I mean, movie-wise.
I kind of like Freddy better. Just because Jason's kind of boring, I'm sorry to say. Even if he has a different weapon, he's just essentially a more or less ordinary slasher who may also be undead, but just more or less an ordinary slasher. And there's nothing really all that different from him than most other 80s movie serial killers.
See, I don't know. My parents were weird. They let me watch certain movies, but not others. My parents would let me watch Nightmare on Elm Street. They wouldn't let me watch, what was it called again?
Friday the 13th?
Friday the 13th? Okay. Yeah, they didn't let me watch that. But they let me watch the Freddy movies, the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. So, I like stuff.
I, too, have seen some of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Oh, I've
but
seen
not
all
really
of them.
the Friday the 13th
I haven't seen a
movie.
single Friday the 13th movie. Not a single one.
I saw
well,
part.
if you want to count Freddy vs. Jason, I've seen that.
I've seen that one.
Gosh, did we see
I've
that at
seen-
the theaters, or did I see that with somebody else?
No.
I don't even know.
It wasn't with me.
It wasn't with you.
I've
I wasn't
seen
seeing it.
part of
Ooh, Red Six Saturdays.
Jason Goes to Hell.
No, did you see that? Not me.
Which I don't think was Jason X. Because I think that movie came out before they did Jason X. And Jason X kind of validated Jason Goes to Hell because, for whatever reason, they made it anyways.
Oh.
Sequels!
Nice. Okay. Well, here, let me read the box for you. It tells you what's in it. It's a 7-figure action pack. Now this comes with 5 pre-painted HorrorClix Freddy vs. Jason miniatures, 2 pre-painted 3D objects, Freddy stove and the open grave, 6 tokens, victim tokens anyway, 4 plot twist cards, 2 dice, rules of play, and 1 20 by 30 double-sided map, the boiler room and summer camp. Anyway, shows you the dice. Here's all the victims.
Are they specific victims?
They sure are. We have the heroine, the hero, the nerd, the student, the cop, and the student. The student. There's a male student, female student. These are all people from
The movie.
the movies.
Cool.
There's the map. Okay, so got the boiler room is what it starts at. You start out seeing here. It's got the grid pieces. You got your blood splatters. That's where you set your victims. And this, you know, little different boiler pieces of the hindering terrain.
Okay, that is really freaking cute.
And then
Doesn't have 12 though.
hold
because
on.
the original starter set had misprint on the maps
Yeah.
and only included 11.
2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12. Yeah. Okay, the side that you guys are saying is summer camp. The side I'm looking at is the boiler room. So here's the boiler room for you to see, and now we're looking at summer camp. Oh, looks like you got some water. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10, and 12. And the places for the victims to be next to each other. Alright. Yeah. Very nice. Here's instructions. It's Freddy vs. Jason. I'm gonna flip through this real quick to see if the complete rules are any different. I don't think so.
Supposed to be. Freddy vs. Jason was actually supposed to be using the 1.5 edition of the rules.
Yeah, I'll have to read through this. Just because we've played HorrorClix a few times. We've had some debate about the rules, and it's not like the HorrorClix original website's up anymore. So, yeah, it
Again,
just seems like the basic rules.
If you want something done by that, let Nika know that you're interested in a new line of HorrorClix.
Oh, yeah.
Because pretty much what we've had in all these videos are what we could manage to get from the older stuff that's now out of print.
Yeah. Jeez. Got all the guys in here. So you can take a look at them.
Take flight. A dreaming victim takes to the air. Play this card when a chosen victim is selected. Move the chosen victim. Double the chosen victim's speed value. That's pretty good. Sucker Punch. A monster reacts preternaturally to an attack. Play this card when a monster is declared the target of a close combat attack. Deal 1 damage to the attacker. The attacker must resolve its attack using only the powers shown on its combat dial. If the attacker cannot resolve the attack, its action ends.
Interesting. Okay. What else you got for the plot twist cards?
Midnight Snack! A monster finds a particularly tasty victim. Play this card when the victim would be slain. The slaying monster gains the following power that turn. Snack! First time this monster slays the victim this turn, heal it of 1 damage. Pretty good. And then the last one. Get away from me! A monster follows prey to the classic chase nightmare. You must control a nightmare to play this card. Play this card during an opponent's hunting phase when an opposing monster adjacent to one or more monsters friendly to you is given a move action to move. After the opposing monster moves, you can put one of those friendly monsters in an unoccupied space adjacent to the opposing monster. So, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Freddy's going to be a nightmare.
Pretty sure they're both.
Alright.
Alright, so what card you got first there?
Freddy Krueger.
Alright. Freddy Krueger. Here he is. He is in a lunging kind of pose with his hands up, his left hand kind of beckoning you forward, while the right hand with the clawed glove or bladed glove that he wears, he is licking at the blades. It's a very interesting sculpt. You can see his brown hat, which is not like my hat. My hat is black. It is not a Freddy Krueger hat.
Mm-hmm. This is a fedora.
In this, I didn't. There's not a very great macro on this camera, so you probably don't get to see the detail of his burnt face, man. So, what's a quick description of what he gets to do?
Hellspawn, Killer, Legend, Nightmare, Slasher. 150 points,
Dang.
plus 2 twists. At the beginning of your turn, you can flip this card. And on the green side, he has Sequel. When this monster would be eliminated, roll a d6. A result of 5 or 6, it is not eliminated. Instead,
Said what?
it is not eliminated instead.
So he's just hanging out there on skulls?
Nope. Heal it of damage equal to the result.
Oh, interesting.
Rake! After this monster slays a victim, deal 1 damage to an adjacent opposing monster. My World, My Rules. This is a movement power.
Okay.
Choose an opposing monster adjacent to this monster. Instead of moving this monster, put it in an unoccupied blood space. This little icon on there that looks like it's supposed to be one of those
Where the victims go?
splatter spaces. Then, put the chosen opposing monster on an unoccupied space adjacent to this monster.
So it pretty much poofs him somewhere else on the map.
Seems to be that way.
Well, that's interesting because, like, especially if he's getting teamed up on,
yeah.
yeah, you can just poof away. Nice.
Is that all you've got? Invulnerable. Damage dealt to this monster is reduced by 2. This monster is not vulnerable when it has 2 action tokens. And then Spree. Modify this monster's damage by +1 for each victim token on its card.
Nice.
So,
I love those.
Pretty standard what we love to use.
Oh, yeah.
All on one monster.
I like me that Freddy. Let me see. What's it say on the other side? Nice body. I'll take that. You can possess somebody. How sweet. Fresh meat. +2 against monsters that have a red or green starting line showing on their combat dials. So he deals more damage to you if you've never been hit. I can go all night. Damage reduced by 1. Collected soul bonus. Modify this monster's attack by +1 for each victim. Very nice. Yeah, you can flip it at the beginning of your turn for any of these. That's pretty good. I like Freddy. I like this particular Freddy trigger. What's the next one? You found there.
Freddy Worm.
Oh, the Freddy Worm? Okay. Alright, this is the Freddy Worm. You can start reading some of his powers.
If you've seen the movie, you know what it is. It's from a part where he made this worm-like creature that had his face, and its body was all...
It's like burnt skin, just
Yeah.
like Freddy, basically.
This is a killer mutant nightmare.
Damn. He's got real high defense. So good Freddy.
Dream Traveler. Instead of moving this monster, put it in an unoccupied blood splatter space. I almost said that wrong. The Souls of Children. Vampiric. If this attack causes the target to take at least 1 damage, heal this monster of 1 damage. Devour, which is a trap. Opposing monsters that roll to break away from this monster must roll a 6 to succeed. Normally it's a 5 or 6. And then Terrify, Scare. Modify the defense value of targets of this monster's attacks by -1, making them
That's
easier to
nice.
be hit.
Yeah.
You have a monster on one of your teams that does that.
Death. Who's afraid of death?
Apparently everybody.
Who's next?
Jason versus Freddy.
So Jason versus Freddy?
Yeah.
Okay, because we got a Freddy versus Jason and we got a Jason versus Freddy. So this is Jason versus Freddy. Okay, it's Jason with Freddy's head. And taking a stroll. It's got his bloody machete. Actually looks pretty solid as far as... Excuse me. Pretty solid as far as his appearance goes compared to the other one, which we haven't got to yet. And Freddy's grinning head, you probably can't see it so well, but there he is.
Hellspawn, Killer, Legend, Nightmare, Slasher. Blood Scent. If this monster begins its move within 3 spaces of an opposing monster, modify its speed value by +2. Killing Machine, Opportunist. If an opposing monster would slay a victim adjacent to this monster, roll a d6. On a result of 5 or 6, this monster slays the victim instead. I think this is the first time we've gotten this power. Single-minded, stamina. Damage dealt to this monster is reduced by 1. Freddy's severed arm. Modify this monster's damage values by +2. Damage the attack deals is penetrating damage.
Nice.
It's pretty good. 75 points plus 1 plot twist. I think I forgot to say what it was on the worm.
What was it? Oh, sorry, heals 0. Plot twist is 75 points.
Alright.
And you next.
Next is Freddy versus Jason.
Freddy versus Jason. That's the 2 full-size figures.
Mhm.
We got Freddy, as you can see. Thin Hay standing back to back with Jason, who's he looks a little beat up. Looks like he's got lots of bullet holes. His mask looks a little messed up. Looks like Freddy got a few bullet holes too. But yeah,
Those
Jason
aren't
there.
bullet holes. Those are claw slashes.
Well, you have to be claw pokes. There are lots of holes. Well, you know they were getting messed up all sorts of ways in Freddy vs. Jason movie.
Oh.
So,
Oh yeah.
but
It's
yeah,
been a while since I've seen that.
what do these guys do?
It's as
They got a
far
lot of
as the
powers.
types, point value, and plot twists. It's
Uh-huh.
basically the same. Hellspawn, Killer, Legend, Nightmare, Slasher, 75 points, plus 1 plot twist. You'll do what I tell you to. This monster treats water terrain as clear terrain for movement purposes.
Ooh. Huh. Okay.
Break. After this monster slays the victim, deal 1 damage to an adjacent opposing monster. Slash, which is an attack power for those who don't play. If this attack succeeds, roll a d6 instead of dealing damage. Replace the monster's damage value with
Oh,
the
that's
result.
always nice.
Yeah, you're a
Especially
big
when
fan
you roll
of that.
high. But yeah, especially with like you get a lot of monsters with like just a 1 and 2 attack power.
Mm-hmm.
But then yeah, you
Or
get
usually
something
at best
3. Like he starts
3.
out with actually 3.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
But yeah, as you go down, yeah, you take just 1 damage and the power goes down to 2.
most monsters, the most they have for life is 6. So you get that 6, you effectively just killed your opponent.
Yeah.
Unstoppable, which is stamina. So damage dealt to this monster is reduced by 1, and then that bright, difficult to see yellow.
Yeah.
Do my dirty work. Session. Which
You basically possess. Yeah, you control the other monster.
Mhm.
Is that all he does?
Yep.
Alright, well, there's one more.
And then the last one
Is Jason Voorhees himself. This is a very brutal sculpt of Jason Voorhees. I'll tell you what, I don't know if you can see this so well. He is quite messed up. He has a hole in the back of his jacket that is showing his bloody spine and rib cage. His mask is kind of broken. His pants and jacket are torn, and his machete, whatever, that's all bloody. What's he get to do?
Huh. Little surprised that he doesn't have something similar.
What?
I guess Freddy really is stronger.
Oh, don't forget the chain around his neck. You can see that. Very cool sculpt.
Killer Legend Slasher Undead. 150 points, plus 1 twist. He also has sequel.
Uh-huh.
He has In Flagrante Delicto. Maybe that means to someone who's watched the movies. If this monster slays a victim that is adjacent to another victim of the opposite gender, it slays both victims.
Nice.
Machete, which is a slash, which you roll the d6 instead, and you do what the die result was. Which that, as we said with the last card, or the last figure, that can kill a monster, but that can also screw you sometimes, because if your monster's attack power is already at 3, and you get a 1 or a 2, you're doing less damage than you otherwise would have.
Yeah.
But most of the time, you're pretty much guaranteed to be doing more. Invulnerable, which is the -2, and is not vulnerable when it has 2 action tokens. Stamina, damage dealt to this monster is reduced by 1. So he has both invulnerable and stamina. So even after you knock him down to the point that invulnerable goes away,
Yeah.
he still has stamina. Or it may be the reverse. He has stamina, and then you beat him up enough, then he gets invulnerable. That's how some of these monsters work. And then, for you, mother! Bloodlust. Modify this monster's attack value by +1 for each
Man, he's a
female
tough
victim
fucker.
token on its card.
Yeah, he's got like 10 turns before he dies.
Man.
Yeah. Very nice. I love these guys. I love them. I love. I mean, this freaking team. They can be a team. You got your 300-point team right here. There you go, Freddy and Jason teaming up. You know, or you could put together a smaller team. Bye, Jason. Let me show you the extras. The what do they call these? Terrain. Well, it's Freddy's stove, or Freddy's boiler. Freddy's stove.
For the boiler room.
Yeah, and then you got an open grave here. Comes with a little shovel. Oh, R.I.P. headstone. Has anybody ever seen an actual headstone that said just R.I.P.? I mean, come on. I've never IRL seen one of those. And I used to hang out in graveyards. I mean, I've seen some blank headstones, or headstones that have just been so worn that they have nothing on them anymore. I've seen ones that just say, like, mother, father, child. You know, who knows who's buried there, except maybe somebody's mother, somebody's father, somebody's child. So,
all right.
But yeah, that's Freddy versus Jason. Again, great pickup from Reader's World. The rest of the stuff we got from Miniatures Market, we're going to see, show you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye, fellow horrors.